Hi, sweeties. I got that peach cobbler with canned peaches for you today. Threw some pineapple in there for you, too. Biscuit topping, buttery, cinnamon sugar. Let's get into it, but first, please subscribe. This is part of the Peach Dessert Challenge open invitation from the Sister Circle. Shouts out to Denise Jordan from This and That with Denise Jordan for putting this all together. And please watch all of the videos in the playlist. We've got our ingredients set up: cinnamon, butter, cornstarch, peaches, pineapples, brown sugar, and our refrigerated biscuits. Oh, please don't forget to hit that notification bell too. You don't need to use all of the juice that is in the cans because that's going to overflow your baking dish. Reserve about 1/4 cup of the juice to make a cornstarch slurry to thicken the cobbler. I'm using a 9 by 13 Pyrex baking dish and pouring in my peaches and pineapples. And I'm using peaches and pineapples in juice, not in heavy syrup, so that I can, add the brown sugar that I want to add and not rely on the sugar that's already in the syrup. And you can make this as sweet as you want. If you want to cut back on the brown sugar, you are certainly welcome to. A little bit of cinnamon to spice things up. And then we're going to add some cornstarch to that pineapple juice that we reserved and mix it around. So that pineapple juice and cornstarch is going to make a slurry, and that will thicken our cobbler. And feel free to use a little more cornstarch if you like a thick sort of sauce on your cobbler, and less cornstarch if you want it to be thinner. Mix it all up. This peach cobbler recipe is inspired by my mom. This is how she would make her peach cobbler. Well, similar. She used canned peaches, refrigerated biscuits. So good. Thanks, Mom. Now it's time to grab those refrigerated biscuits, unwrap it, bust it open, and we'll layer the biscuits on top of our cobbler. As our cobbler bakes, the tops of the biscuits get brown and crusty, but the bottoms, well, they cook in that cobbler sauce, and it's almost like dumplings. They're so good. They get plump and they absorb some of that syrup. Brush those biscuits with some butter. I mean, come on. It just keeps getting better and better. I've got a different recipe. A recipe for peach cobbler using fresh peaches, everything from scratch. So if you want that, well, I'll put a link right up above there in the corner. Now sprinkle the tops of those biscuits with a little bit more brown sugar, and then sprinkle some cinnamon on top, and it's just gonna be so good. I like to bake this cobbler on top of a sheet tray in case it bubbles over. You don't want to mess in the bottom of your oven. Nobody does. Slide it in, cover it with a little foil if it starts to brown too fast, and this is what you get. Sometimes towards the end of cooking, I like to dip into a little bit of the cobbler juices and spread it, like drizzle it, almost basting the biscuits with the cobbler juices and putting it back in the oven for another 5 or so minutes, just so it gets a beautiful glaze on top. Now grab yourself a big old spoon and dish it up. Look at that, so good. Now, if you like it to be thicker, like I said, you can add more cornstarch to it, but I mean, any way you do it, it's gonna be good. And that is it, sweeties. This cobbler is so super simple to make. canned peaches, canned pineapple, and refrigerated biscuits. Add some sugar to the juices, some cornstarch to thicken it up, bake it in the oven, and you have a really tasty dessert. Shouts out to my mom for inspiring this recipe. Thanks so much. Love you, Ma. Please subscribe to Sweet Savant. Hit that notification bell. Give us the thumbs up. Let's take a bite. So delicious. Y'all have a delicious day.